Hey, what's up guys? Jonathan Tartaglione back with you one more time. Today I'm showcasing the all-new 2015 Volkswagen GTI. The GTI hit your dealerships probably about a month ago or so, and it's definitely taken off since we've got it. It's completely redesigned, it's all new. The Mark 7 or A7 generation, if you will. They went ahead and extended the wheelbase a little bit, so it is a little bit longer. It's also a tad wider, which I noticed distinctively. I owned a GTI for about 6 years, and elbow space was always a little bit of a concern. Now it's definitely a little bit wider, so your front passengers are going to be much more comfortable. And on top of that, your rear passengers are definitely going to get more legroom in the car, definitely a little bit longer. Some cool features with the trunk as well. I'll get to those in a minute, but I just wanted to give you a look around. The dual exhaust is now standard. Get your alloy wheels. And for us nostalgic GTI folks, you do still get the sport plaid seats on the entry-level model. Of course, leather is available if you're into that. They are heated as well. You don't lose that feature. You're going to notice you do get this little triangular window that is not part of the door, that is stationary. Adds for a little bit of visibility. You also get this really cool GTI badge on the side of the fender, which just lets folks know, hey, this isn't a Golf. There's a little more pep to my step, which I got to say I kind of like. And then, of course, keeping in with the whole nostalgic thing that Volkswagen has going, you do get the red stripe across the grille here, letting folks know, again, this is a GTI, as long as with the badging and the honeycomb grille there. So I'm going to go ahead and open the door, show you guys the interior, and actually show you what they did to make this car so different. It does boast 210 horsepower, and I know what you're thinking, well, it's only a 10 horsepower increase. Well, you're wrong. More importantly than anything, they upped the torque ratio on this car up to 258 pound-feet of torque. And for anybody who knows cars, torque gets you there, horsepower keeps you there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the differences in the trunk that Volkswagen has made. And a lot of people are probably like, well, what can you really change about a hatch? Volkswagen actually did it pretty well, so naturally going to use the emblem here. That'll go ahead and release your trunk open for you. I do have the tie downs in for the rear deck lid. So first things first, I'm going to show off is the little self-supporting holder they have. I've had to change a spare tire in the past. And it's always a little bit of a hassle trying to get the tire out when this thing keeps falling back on you. So they did go ahead and put in some self-supporters here, so this way you don't have to worry about holding it up yourself. One other really cool feature about this rear deck lid, it's actually movable now, so you can actually drop this down one level, and what you're going to do is just slide this back in place here, and you're actually going to get about 3 or 4 more inches of height to the vehicle. Now, what if you need to put something that's in a little bit taller than what the privacy lid allows you? It's actually pretty easy. Just like any other GTI, you could go ahead and remove it, and then, put it in your house, and next thing you know, you're forgetting about it for 3 days, so when you go grab your groceries, your milk is getting beat on by the sun. Well, Volkswagen wanted to change that. So what you're going to do here is you're actually going to bring your subfloor, you're going to put it back in its normal seating position. We're going to use the self-supporter here, let it hold itself up. But pull out this little piece of plastic here in the corner. And what you could actually do is take your deck lid and slide it right in underneath everything here. So this way, you don't have to worry about forgetting something at home. You could hide it. Go ahead and store the items that you need to. Maybe you went to Home Depot or Lowe's, you made a little bit of a run, had a few things, and now you have a much more utilitarian-based trunk for you. Of course, your rear seats are still foldable in a 60-40 split, so those are available. You can go ahead and remove the headrests and actually get those to go flush with everything as well. So first, I'm going to take a gander into the back seat here for you guys. Again, showing off that really classy sport plaid seating. Of course, your front seats are bucket seats. Now, I'm 5-foot Portuguese, so I generally fit everywhere, but you'll notice the ample amount of leg room. That is my seating position, the way I drove the car on the way to this destination here. So there is quite an amount of leg room here for your rear passengers. You still get your vent controls in the middle. Of course, there are vents under the driver and passenger seat, so your rear passengers get that heat or air conditioning if need be. And of course, you get that solid thud that Volkswagen does make oh so well. Now, this is an S model, but you are going to notice you do get a partial electronic recline. Then the rest of the seating arrangement is going to be manual. And again, boasting back to that sport plaid cloth, it is still there. Aggressive bolsters, of course, to keep you planted while driving your GTI. One big change you're going to notice, there's no more cruise control stalk. It's actually right on the steering wheel. Volkswagen went ahead and changed that. You are going to notice you get the red inserts on the steering wheel there. In addition to that, you're going to have red accents all throughout the car. Of course, on your shift knob, the shift boot, as well as the e-brake boot to tie in with everything else here. So let me go ahead and sit down. I'm going to show you guys a couple other buttons. And the new progressive steering on these cars is absolutely incredible. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. All right, so here I am inside the brand new 2015 GTI. And I just want to show you how cool everything looks. They've refined things, kind of dressed it all up a little. You do get your GTI badge on the steering wheel, letting you know, again, you are in a GTI. And as I kind of mentioned quickly earlier, you're going to notice your cruise control is now on the steering wheel. I know we've all been in that position before where we had to reach somewhere down here looking for a cruise control stalk. Volkswagen went ahead and amended that, making things much more comfortable for you. In addition to that, of course, you have your volume controls, your radio controls, and your Bluetooth connectivity controls on the steering wheel itself. Every GTI gets Bluetooth. That is a standard feature now. Another really cool option I'm going to point out to you is that you actually get a color MFI display here, which is something Volkswagen never did before. So kind of makes things a little bit more convenient, definitely a little bit more quirky and up to date with everything. Right on the steering wheel is your controls. You can go through your MFI display. You know, miles per hour, digital speedometer, average miles per gallon readout, how many distance till empty, all that good stuff is available to you right in your dashboard there. For cars equipped with navigation, you could also get your navigation display and turn directions right in front of you. Moving over to the middle, there's no more Premium 8 radio or the RNS 315. They have moved over to a completely new head unit, and it's actually really cool. There is a little infrared sensor down at the bottom here. You'll notice the menu comes up at the bottom, letting you know that it recognizes your hands. And then from there, you can go into your particular selections, your bands, your stations, setup, etc. This car isn't equipped with nav, but you are going to notice you have all your options on the left-hand side for radio, media, phone, or voice controls. On the right-hand side, you have your mute button, sound options, your car, and menu options as well. So everything is very accessible with the touch of a button. And again, really cool, a little sensor there will go ahead and let you know that the car is recognizing that you're trying to change something in the radio. HVAC control is pretty standard with Volkswagen. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You have your temperature gauge, your fan speed, and your positioning all located right there in the center. In addition, you have your circulation and heated seat buttons available to you. I am driving the 6-speed manual, which is probably the best way to drive a GTI, but they do offer the car with a 6-speed DSG transmission, and this is probably one of the coolest things Volkswagen could have done. Maybe took a page out of the Volkswagen and Audi handbook here. You're going to notice you have a mode button, and what that is, it's going to change the drive select on the car. So for those who are just trying to take it easy, you have your normal, you do have your sport, then you also have an individual setting where you can customize both the engine as well as steering in the vehicle to customize and make it the most dynamic drive possible. Again, car is extremely spacious now. They did change the inlays. Volkswagen CarNet is a standard feature. If you haven't read up on CarNet, definitely check it out. It's Volkswagen's version of OnStar. Now let me go back to this progressive steering. Now I'm a driver, you know, just like anybody else. If you drive a GTI, it's probably because you're a little enthusiastic behind the wheel. Now with one turn of the wheel, it's actually brand new system from Volkswagen. One solid turn of the wheel is a complete U-turn. There's nowhere else to go here. You are in your complete turning radius with one solid wheel, and 2 turns all the way around brings you back the opposite way. Now, it might not sound like much, but when you get in this car and you're coming out of a tight parking spot, or when you're leaving my lot, you need to make a U-turn, you could see the noticeable difference that you have with the control in the GTI. You know, the 210 horsepower is standard. In September, they are releasing a 220 horsepower model. That will be called the Performance Package. And again, it's an increase of 258 pound-feet of torque, about 50 more pound-feet of torque than its predecessor. Come on in and schedule a test drive with me, because these cars are an absolute blast to drive. Extremely utilitarian. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give me a call. It's 508-678-5555. And that's Jonathan Tattaglione, salesman here at Matty Imports of Fall River, Massachusetts.